One of my favorite things in the world is music. I listen to music basically every moment of the day that I can. Even when reading the Bible, 50% of the time I'm listening to music. And one thing I've noticed, the more and more that I progress through life, is that when a certain song comes on, there's always, not always, but some of the times these certain songs hold a memory in them, or I can associate it with a time in my life or things like that. And for a while, it makes some songs uh, not fit the rotation because certain songs make me feel or remind me of a certain somebody or a time in my life that I don't want to think about. And then more recently, I've kind of stopped listening to the music that I kind of would have on repeat for probably 3 or 4 years now. Um, Specifically, um, NF, which is Ball Knowledge, Juice World, X here and there, uh, the Kid Laroi. More recently, I've been getting into him. All basically depressing artists, right? And I've noticed the moment I stopped listening to them for like a month straight was like, wow. Because it just shows the power of music. When I continuously listen to that kind of music, your self-esteem and your confidence just all goes down the drain. And if that's the first thing you're listening to when you wake up, yeah, your day is just completely cooked from there. Um, but still to this day, when I look at or when I hear a certain song, I can pinpoint, oh, I was with this person at this time, or this person showed me this song, or like I was thinking about this person when I first heard this song, or just something like that. I think it's called like an associative memory or something like that. And that just goes to show how powerful music can be, which can be a good thing and also a bad thing. Like, I can tell you specifically when I've heard this song for the first time, which is a Morgan Wallen song. I remember hearing this song. I was like half asleep on a bus coming back from Lucas Oil Stadium after one of our band competitions. So this was probably sophomore year. It's called "Living the Dream" by Morgan Wallen. I'm actually not gonna play it, but you get the idea. Like I can remember. I'm gonna sneeze. But as I was saying, I can like remember the exact time I heard it. I was like half asleep on the bus, and I was like, "What is this? This is a banger." Another example, "F You Mean" by Gunna. I remember first hearing that when I was in weightlifting class. What was that? Sophomore, junior year, or something like that. Because our teacher would have play the same playlist like every single day, and that'd be like the one of the first songs that he'd play. Um, and then again, like I started listening to Juice WRLD for the first time junior year, which is kind of crazy foreshadowing, right before I got into a relationship essentially for the first time. And then you got songs like "I Wonder" by Kanye West. I remember hearing that for the first time, and I'd listen to that like every day on the way to school. Junior year, it'd be like 7 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just sitting there in the parking lot, just zoning out. Those are the days. Great song, by the way. We love Kanye. Um, and then I'm like going down. I made like a whole playlist of like um, songs I can associate with like a certain period of time in my life, right? And then you got songs by Baby Keem that I started finding, um, which one of my buddies put me on to Baby Keem, and he's one of my favorite artists now. But songs like Fine China in South Africa, I can associate when I was dating my first girlfriend to those two songs because I was playing those over and over again. I think I was playing like Fortnite Reload or something crazy. Scared of Love by Juice WRLD, right? Early stages of dating. Um, And then I can associate when Drake dropped some sexy songs for you, the song CN Tower. I can tell you, I probably found that song a week or two after the breakup because I was like, this is fire. Like, I can relate to this. Or like Lee Ray, I don't know how to say it, by Trippie Redd. And then you get some X in there, some more depressing stuff. Um, so yeah, and then you get into like just major rap, like a lot of Future starts popping up. Let's just put it that way. And I can tell like, oh, this is me trying to, gain some confidence back and get over this girl, right? So it's like, hype rap. And then you get to a certain part where it gets happier, and that's when I probably it's probably, let's say, February, March era. Um, so that's when I was getting over my first girlfriend and on to the next one. When things were like finally, I've noticed this when it hasn't happened yet, but I've noticed something. When I start to become like more happy and I'm like, oh, I'm finally content being by myself and I don't care about my ex anymore, things like that. I swear that's when another person swoops into your life. But it hasn't happened to me this time, but I swear every single time. It's happened every time so far. The moment that I'm like, I'm at peace, this feels great, a girl spawns in every single time. So to all the people that are saying it happens when you least expect it, you're partially true on that. But when you're not, when you're completely against the idea of dating, it's not going to happen. By the way, you have to be open to it. So if you're purposely trying not to date, no one's gonna pop up into your life. But once you're done healing and you still wanna, yeah. Um, Justin Bieber pops in, W Justin, and then Drake dropped again. He dropped a single. Drake needs to drop his Iceman album, by the way. But when he dropped his single, What Did I Miss? That was summer of 2025. Um, yeah. Uh, and that was when I was getting over a situationship, and I was in the Carolinas, I believe, for a week. That sounds right. So when that song dropped, I was playing that on repeat because I was like, this is exactly what I need. You keep going, and it's more like wah wah breakup stuff. But like, as I look at certain songs or hear them, I can get taken back to a certain period of time. Literally mentally, it will spark um, like a past memory. So if I played, there's this certain song with Juice and X, and I was listening to it last night because it just popped up on my DJ, and then I could remember like, oh man, this is when I was going to my buddy's house. I was bumping this one, um, and that's like one of my friends that I don't see ever anymore because he's in the military, and it just sucks because it's like, man, we got so close, and then he moved. He went to the military, so it's like that sucks. But again, I can like associate that with that time, or like "Scared of Love" by Juice WRLD, right? That's when I was really, 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 really insecure and self-conscious, and I was like, dude, I am like so scared about this relationship, um, which is normal for like every first relationship. You're always like tweaking out, and you're like, how is this happening right now? I don't know what I'm doing. So that easily is like, yeah. Or like Maze by Juice. It's gonna be mostly Juice because that's like what I used to listen to all the time. But um, that's like me and my friends like song. You know what I mean? Like that was one of our like go-to songs in the car. So it's like, yeah, I remember him because of this song. Um, what else? Or like Make Me Proud by Drake and Nicki Minaj, I think it is. I can associate that with, oh shoot, where are we coming from? When me and my dad were coming back from San Diego, I listened to that on the plane. Mm, it reminds me of somebody when I listen to it, right? and then I can associate it with that time. Um, or like Trust Issues. I know that was my first ex's like favorite song by Drake. Just like different things like that. I think that's also it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like obviously it's like interesting to think about, but most of these things that I'm bringing up I don't want to think about because it can be painful to think about, but so a lot of the time I don't listen to these songs anymore because they have that stain of the past like written all over them. Or like when the Kid Leroy dropped his new album, Before I Forget. It's like I was trying to get somebody back, and then when this dropped, it was like, man, this is just hitting me. Uh, and yeah, Kid Leroy is so good. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I will say, if a song brings you, you know, pain or sadness to that extent to where it's reminding you of something, don't listen to it. I know it's like interesting to like feel all that emotion or to be like, oh man, I remember that. Like, don't get stuck into that because honestly, it'll just bring you down. Like, I've noticed recently, the more that I listen to like hype music, I'm not saying like you should only listen to this 24/7, but as someone who has a low self-esteem and like low confidence in basically everything, um, having like music that hypes you up or makes you confident is so helpful. And I kind of listen to that kind of music constantly at this point because it just, it kind of frees you in a way to where you're not like self-conscious about everything, I guess. Um, Unironically, I've started bumping like edit music as I'm walking on campus. Don't knock it till you try it, by the way. I will play one song that was like I was listening to it last night when I was on my way back to the dorm, and it's low key peak. You've probably it's like gym edit music, honestly, but it's so peak. Just wait. Anyways, I'll skip a little bit ahead. It's like it's fire. Um, I actually first heard that song off Rocket League. Rocket League has like the best soundtrack ever. But anyways, music can help you, just as much as it can not help you. If a song reminds you of somebody and you're trying to get over them, please don't play that song because you'll get stuck in that cycle for a long time. Uh, Also, look how fire this can is. I don't even like the Cubs, but I'm gonna keep this can because I'm gonna make an energy drink wall when I get the apartment. And it's limited edition. Cherry limeade is a top three, top two ghost flavor. This is literally made my day, by the way. Nothing else. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I still love music. I love listening to new music and finding new stuff, but I tend to repeat the same music until I'm bored of it or really annoyed by it. But don't do that when a song brings you those kind of feelings. Definitely don't do that. This one was kind of just more of a fun video, because it was something that was like hitting me last night. Um, just been on my mind, so thought I'd make a video. I know it's not like deep or anything, and it's kind of more of a fun video. Um, I do have a lot more topics ready to speak on, but I was already in a good mood, so I was like, I'm not gonna talk about something depressing or anything like that. So there's your video.